Hello everyone and welcome back to another Sunday prep. This is happening over the weekend. It's also a weekend I'm doing a mega freezer prep, freezer meals, freezer, feeding my freezer. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet, but watch out for that video because that's coming. But this has been 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, of me in the kitchen prepping for the week, but also prepping for however long, months coming, I don't know, however long all this stuff's gonna last. This weekend has been so much time on my feet in this kitchen preparing for life. So we have 7 people in our family. If you're new, I'm Tiffany, and we have children in age range of just about 1 all the way up to 14, and all kinds of things go on in this house. We have activities here, there, everywhere, and we're busy. And some days we're even at home, but I can't get into the kitchen to cook or do whatever because I've got a toddler or a baby or a teenager. Somebody needs me, something's going on. So I'm trying to spend one weekend to go ahead and get all of this stuff done and trying to prep for this week. So this is stuff that I try to get done through the week. This is stuff I did look ahead on my meal plans for our breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts to see what I could do ahead of time. Some things I obviously can't, but I am trying to do as much as I possibly can. So I hope you enjoy this video. Consider subscribing if you haven't already because I share a lot about food on a budget for all these people. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up so YouTube knows that you're enjoying our content. So thank you so much in advance for doing that. Now let's get on with this wonderful video. Okay, let me go ahead and share with you my Sunday prep list. I have no-bake cookies. I need to get cheeses from the freezer for the week because I shop for the month and freeze our cheese, and then I need to get it out as I need it. I need to get out meat for the week to thaw. I want to make some peanut butter crackers and peanut butter and jelly graham crackers. I had those one time and wow, they're good. Cinnamon rolls is like I think it's Monday breakfast for the week that I'd planned, and that's kind of hit or miss if I actually make them here or not. Same with the crumb cake, that's sometime this week. I need to see if I have any French bread in the freezer. I believe that I do. I need to make hard-boiled eggs. I need to make black bean and cheese taquitos, and I need to get out small tortillas for that. I need to get out lunch meat to thaw, make buttered noodles, make baked potatoes, make creamer, coffee for the morning, make lunches for the week. Apple slices, I need to wash and cut any fruits or veggies, make sweet tea, make some Gatorade, make peanut butter and energy balls, and I added a thing of make muffin mix. So here I am making some peanut butter balls. And at first I had just thrown everything into that coconut oil container because there was like just a little bit of coconut oil left. So I was like, oh, I'll just put it all in here and microwave it. But then I realized there was still foil on the outside, and I was like, I don't think that's safe to go in there. So I ended up scooping it back out of there to put into this bowl. And I don't measure anything but coconut oil, peanut butter, honey. Mix it together and then add your ingredients. That's what I've been doing, and everything has been phenomenal. Really, really good. So I was trying to make double the recipe here because I was going to make 2 different kinds. So there I am putting it into 2 different bowls, obviously, and I'm going to make one in the first bowl. And I'm using this peanut butter powder for some extra protein. So I just shake that in there, and then I add chia seeds and flax seeds to both of them as well. And I'm trying to fast forward through all of this stuff so you don't have to see absolutely everything because I'm sure it gets really boring. Cocoa powder in the one because I'm going to make chocolate. Now, again, I have no idea a recipe for these. I just kind of throw things together. So I put M&Ms in the chocolate one, I put chocolate chips in the regular one, and then oats in both of them. And then mix it around, throw it in the fridge for 10 or 15 minutes so it gets easier to mix together. And then you want to take it out and form the balls. And then I put them in a bag and then put it back into the fridge. And we just keep them in the fridge all week. That one seemed a little bit dry, so I added the rest of the honey that I had, and after that it was fine. And I made these yesterday, and Everly's already eaten 4 of them. So there we go with the bags. And again, I just form them and put them in the bags and put them in the fridge. And this is exactly where they are in the fridge, ready to go if someone wants some. So I pulled out the tortillas and the lunch meat from the freezer to thaw. Everly got my phone and wanted to take a video of herself, so I thought it was cute and included it. And then one of the things I wanted to do was make noodles for the week, because Everly always asks for noodles for lunch, and I never feel like making them, to be honest. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to. So I figured this week I would actually make them ahead of time. That way all I had to do during the week was heat them up for her and not spend the time actually making them. I mean, I know it doesn't take that long to make noodles. I know. But some days I just don't feel like it. And then some days Wilder doesn't want me to. He doesn't want me to do anything. He's the most clingy, neediest baby. He's actually classified as a high needs baby. That was from his doctor. He is very high needs. 5 children, and all 4 were easy up until now. Number 5 is giving me a run for my money. So I just do elbow noodles, cover it with water, and then I put them on manual for 4 minutes, and they came out perfect. And I didn't even have to strain them, so it was amazing. I got a new package of these containers. Everyone asks where I get them. Amazon. I'll link down below. I had an extra one and I didn't know what to do with it, so I got a bright idea of making pre-made muffin mix I found on Pinterest. So here I am making the base, and then you need to obviously add whatever you want. Like, you can make blueberry, chocolate chip, or whatever muffins from here, but you also have to add the wet ingredients when you're ready. So the base recipe that I got off of Pinterest was, for just the dry mix, you do 12 cups of flour, 4 tablespoons of baking powder, 1 tablespoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 4.5 cups of flour. But I didn't think that that container would hold all of that, so I cut it in half and did 6 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of baking powder, half a tablespoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 2 1/4 cups of sugar. And that is in the pantry ready to go. And I did write on an index card the mix, like the base mix, and then on the other side I wrote everything that you need to make it into muffins, like the wet ingredients and how to cook them and everything, and I'll show you that in a second. And I just taped it to the top of the container. When the noodles were done, I released the steam, and then I added a stick of butter and I added some salt and mixed that all around. And I actually had some of that for lunch that day because I was hungry. And look at that. It looked really, really good, and it was really good. So I just put it in a bag and put it in the fridge so I can pull it out and heat it up as needed for the week. Now, I didn't look up the entire recipe. I just looked up how much of the ingredients you would need. So 3/4 cup of peanut butter, 3.5 cups of oats, 1/4 cup of cocoa, 2 cups of sugar, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 1/2 cup of butter, and 1/2 cup of milk. I didn't look up how to make it. So I just kind of threw everything together. I did milk and butter and melted it, threw in the honey to melt that in, added some vanilla, mixed it all around. I don't even know what I did next. I'll let the video catch up and I'll share it with you. I just kind of winged it and like did whatever. Obviously, I'm not the best at following recipes, and I'm not the best at using measurements. So here I am adding the sugar, mixing that all around together, and just kind of letting everything melt and get delicious. I love peanut butter and chocolate anything. And there, I'm not measuring my cocoa powder, and I just used what was left in the container because it was about out, so I just used all of it. I think it was over 1/4 cup, but whatever. And then I added peanut butter powder again why not make the cookies healthy by adding protein powder? I don't know. Is peanut butter powder even protein powder? In my head it is, but I don't know in real life, is it? I don't know. Here I am adding the oats. And again, you see me just dump it because I was trying to eyeball 3.5 cups. So I did about 1 cup each time and then half, and then I still had just a little bit left, so I poured the rest of the container in. because I didn't want just a little bit of oats left in my container. So I just dumped it on in there. Mixed everything together, and then I start forming them on cookie sheets, and I make enormous cookies because, let's face it, I have no patience when it comes to cookies. You guys rarely see me make cookies, and that's because I don't have the patience to sit here and do all these little tiny cookies. I don't know. I'd rather make like one big thing and dump it in a cake pan, dump it on a sheet pan, dump it in a pie pan. I don't know. There's something about cookies that it's not my thing. I like to eat them. I don't like to make them. So here I am making like enormous cookies because I just don't have the patience, as I said. Do you guys like to make cookies? Probably so, right? Because most people do. I don't enjoy it, but most people do. Let me know. Do you? Do you not? So, again, I continue to make cookies. And then I put them in the freezer so they can harden up. And then when they're done, I pull them out, throw them in a bag, and they're ready to go for the week as well. Now I got out meat for the week. I got out ground beef, 2 things of ground beef, beef stew meat, and chicken breast. These are for dinners that we will need through the week. And then we decide that we want to eat some cream of wheat for breakfast. And so I'm like, hey, I'm just going to make this whole thing and we can have it in the fridge, ready to go through the week for breakfasts as well. This was day 2 of our Sunday prep. It was really weekend prep, but this was actually Sunday morning. So this is what we had for breakfast. And also Gary's like, I'm going to cook up some eggs and some sausage. So he did that. He only made a couple eggs for breakfast, but he cooked up the rest of the sausage as well. And that's wilder. So we have sausage ready to go for the week too. I pulled out this cheese that I'm going to need so I can shred it for the stuff for the week. And Everly and Daddy are doing eggs to make hard-boiled eggs. And here Gary had scrubbed and washed the sweet potatoes because I'm going to make sweet potato biscuits in a minute. And I just wanted to use up all the sweet potatoes before they went bad. So we threw all 4 of them in there with a cup of water. And Everly wanted to help start the pressure cooker. And she ended up, I don't even know what she did. But anyway, she was just trying to help. I think she started it when we didn't need to or something. I can't quite remember. But yeah, she was trying. This cream of wheat took forever because I did so much, but oh my gosh, it was so good. And then here are all the sausage links that Gary cooked up. And as I said, we have those ready to go in a bag for the week for lunches, or for breakfast. I mean lunch too, I guess, if anybody wants it for lunch. There's the eggs. That was a farm fresh egg on the right and a regular store-bought egg on the left. You can tell the difference. And then here's our cream of wheat done. We mixed some strawberry jelly into it. Wilder ate that entire bowl. He loved it. And then he ate some of Everly's too. He was in heaven. Then he's eating some sausage. That boy was doing some eating this morning. And there's Daddy's plate. He has eggs and toast and all kinds of goodness. Here I'm getting the cream of wheat put into a bowl, and I put some in the travel crock pot for Gary for him to be able to take for breakfast. And there's the sausage ready to go. And then I decide to move on to slicing apples and putting them in salt water. I just leave them in water with salt for an hour or two, and then you rinse them out and then throw them in the fridge, and they stay fresh all week. They don't turn brown or disgusting or whatever. They won't last an entire week here, but I've cut so many before that they have, and they never turned brown or anything. I was able to pack them all week for lunch for the kids, and they don't taste like salt because you rinse off the salt. When you're done soaking them, make sure you rinse them good, and they will not taste like salt, and they won't turn brown. Now I'm getting the potatoes in the Instant Pot because I had potatoes that were going to go bad. So I figured I'd throw them in the Instant Pot, throw them in the fridge for later. Can use them this week. And on to making tea. I only had to make 1 gallon this week because we still had a gallon in the fridge. And I actually didn't have to make any coffee creamer this week. I wrote it down on my list, but I looked. He has 1.5 creamers left. So no coffee creamer today. Also made Gatorade for the kids, and that's in the fridge as well.
Okay, I tried to do this voiceover without kids, but I have 5 and that's not going to happen. So there's going to be a lot of noise in the background from here on out because I need to finish this video. So now I'm making sweet potato biscuits. I made them last week and they were so good, and I had 4 sweet potatoes left that I needed to use up before they went bad. I've tried roasting and all kinds of stuff with these, and no one here likes them. So I just started adding them into things. Like I put them in the chili, and I put them in the, or no, I didn't put it in the chili. I put it in the, what was that? Sloppy Joes last week. And I made biscuits, and so I'm making more biscuits because they were really good. So you do 2 cups of flour, half a teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 4 tablespoons of butter, and 1.5 cups of mashed sweet potato. And then you bake them at 425 for 10 minutes. But I actually doubled the recipe because I had enough to double it. So I made some for now, and then I made some for the freezer as well. And here I'm just taking the potatoes out of the Instant Pot that I had, and I'm putting them in a bowl, and I'm putting them into the fridge. I learned that tip from Noelle, from Noelle's Big Family Life. She said to keep them uncovered in a bowl, and they won't dry out or anything, so they're in our fridge just like that. And here are the sweet potato biscuits when they're done, and Everly ate 3 of them, I think, right when they were done. She really, really liked them. So here I am rinsing the apples, because after they sit for a while, you want to make sure that you rinse them and rinse off the salt so they're not all salty or whatever. And I just rinse them with some water, and then that's it. I put them in a bag, and they're in the fridge as well, ready for the week. So here's an overall look at everything so far. Biscuits, apples, noodles, peanut butter balls, eggs, cookies, potatoes. Yes, I know, it's a ton of bags. I know. Here's everything in the fridge. I need to find some other system other than bags. It just works so well. I know it's terrible for the environment. I know. I mean, if you want to send me some more glass bowls, that would be appreciated. But for now, I just have to use... I'm kidding, obviously. Don't send any bowls. But for now, I'm funny about... I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Look at all those dishes. Look at that. That happens multiple times per day. Per prep days, I guess I should say. I mean, we wash dishes like 1,000 times over this day. So I actually had recorded me doing the sweet tea, adding the sugar. I had about a cup and a half of sugar. And I thought I had angled the camera right, and I didn't. So you couldn't even see it. So anyway, you get to see me fill it up with water. There you go. And then I'm draining a can of black beans. I'm rinsing it. And I'm going to make black bean and cheese taquitos for Monday lunch for everybody. So I take this Colby and Monterey Jack cheese and shred it, and I'm holding it with a towel because it was frozen and it was really cold still, and it was like so cold on my hand. So I was trying to do it, but it was just in the way, so I ended up stopping anyway. But yeah, this was the first time I ever made taquitos, black bean and cheese taquitos in the air fryer like this. And I did it at 400 degrees for 7 minutes, and they were actually really good. I used cooking spray to spray the tortillas, and I just had a problem with all the stuff staying in. I don't know how to do it. I don't know. I'm learning, but I ended up realizing, like, at first I'm just rolling them up, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna spray it when it's done. Then I realized a trick. Like, the next round, I sprayed before I rolled them up, and it worked a lot better. So that's a trick for you. Spray the tortillas before you even start. So there they are, going into the air fryer, and I had preheated it at 400 the whole time I was doing it, wrapping them up just so it was hot and ready to go. And see, this way, if you spray them like that before, it works a lot better. Alright, and now I've got 2 pounds of ground beef with half a red onion and half a red onion because Gary had used the other half the night before to make chicken fried rice. So there was a half of red onion left, so I just chopped it on in and threw it in so it didn't get wasted. And I'm doing 2 pounds of ground beef because we're going to have tacos and spaghetti this week. So I just went ahead and pre-cooked both of them so they were ready to go and cooked for those 2 nights. And just a lot easier. That's what Sunday prep's about, right? Making life easy through the week. So I add salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and then I also add this minced onion that I got from Sam's Club, I think. I love that stuff. I feel like I've already used half the bottle and it's one of the huge ones. So I'm gonna need some more of that. And I have this ground beef on, like, in the middle of the air fryer, taquitos going and stuff. So it's back and forth. So the video is back and forth too, but it's all happening at the same time. And these taquitos came out really, really good. And that's what I had for lunch because I was starving. Look at them. They were really good. I really, really enjoyed them. And at this point, Gary and Everly were gone. So it was just me and Wilder, and he was napping. And I was able to accomplish quite a bit when that was happening because I was basically alone because no one was awake. And it was fabulous. Because Gary's dad had come to get him to take him to go work at the farm, and he was like, hey, let me just take Everly. And she had a ball with all the animals and driving the tractors, and then Wilder woke up, so he's here as I'm finishing up the taquitos and the ground beef, and he's learning to walk. He's been taking tons and tons of steps, and he'll be walking any day now fully. I can't believe it. There's my ground beef, all ready to go. Put it in a glass bowl, and it's in the fridge for the week. Here I am packing lunches, and then Daddy's home, and he's making us dinner as I'm starting this no-knead crusty Dutch oven bread. For the week, you start it the day before, and you let it sit for 8 to 24 hours. So I started it yesterday. We're going to have it Monday night for dinner. I'm filming this Monday morning, or the voiceover Monday morning right now. The first half of the video I did yesterday, and the second half is today, so it's just crazy. But anyway, I'll leave this recipe down below as well. But anyway, you do 3 cups of flour, 2 to 3 teaspoons of salt, half a teaspoon of yeast, and 1.5 cups of warm water. And it says that you stir it in a large bowl with a wooden spoon, and then cover it tightly with plastic wrap and let it sit for 8 to 24 hours. So that is happening right now. Here's our dinner. He made beef and broccoli with white rice, and it was so good. So I got almost everything done on my list except for those crackers. I never did them, and I didn't do the cinnamon rolls, but I did make them this morning for breakfast, so I didn't need to do them yesterday anyway. I didn't make a crumb cake because, honestly, I don't even know that I feel like having one. And the crackers can wait. So thank you guys so much. Give me a thumbs up. See you later.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're still here sticking around watching all of that I just did, let me know in the comments if you made it to the end. So, do you do any freezer meal prepping? Do you do any weekly prepping? Any of that? Let me know down below and let me know what you do. See if you can give me some new ideas. This is just kind of stuff our family does uses up every week, like hard-boiled eggs. We go through a ton of them. Tea, drinks, coffee, lunches. I mean, just all of it. It's like weekly stuff around here. But if you have anything fun, exciting, new, let me know. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll talk to you down below. Bye. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and enjoy these other videos we have coming up for you. Also, you can turn on the red bell notifications so you're notified of every new video we post. Thank you so much.